So this has been the boss. It's the one second. That ball was moving on its own. That's terrifying. How can you explain this? It must be a ghost. Oh, well, good morning, everyone. This is Shua of Shua Cycles. Today is Sunday. And topic of today, I actually think I have two topics, but first one we're going to talk on quick is what is the difference between a roadie and a cycle commuter? Is there a difference? Do I think one term is better than the other? Do I think that just get into it, because I think the term roadie is always what I've been told is people who ride on the road. That's what my dad has always called them. That's what people around me have always called them. And up until a couple of years ago, I was always like, "Huck patooey, roadies." Bunch of annoying people that ride on the road. They're always in the way. They don't move over. They take the whole lane. What a bunch of jerks. And until last year, where I kind of indoctrinated myself into the cycle commuting way of life, you might call it. And I started to go, wait a minute. Why is it the roadie's fault that you need to slow down and move over? And then I started thinking about it. It's like, that guy's not a roadie, he's going to work. That guy's not a roadie, he's just out exploring. That guy's not a roadie, he's just trying to lose weight. Ooh, deer. Look at him, he's staring at me. What's up, deer? That's the second deer I've seen in a day, in a row. I saw a deer yesterday, saw a deer today. It's like there's deer in this state. It's crazy. Oh, look at those hops. Look at those happy hops. Oh, they're beautiful. Whee! Whee! He's got some hops, man. He's got some hops. Ah, wasn't quick enough. We'll see if we can get some more sun. So roadies, they're in the way. I have to slow down and move over. Well, why is it his fault that you need to slow down and move over? I mean, it's literally going to take you 2 seconds to slow down, move over, and then you just go right back about your day. It's not like the roadie is going to continue being in your way for the next 20 miles. You pass him and then you're good. Oh, well, what if there's a line of cars? Yeah, I need 20 cars, you need to pass him. Who cares? He's not that big of an inconvenience. You think it's an inconvenience because you need to slow down and you want to drive 50 on the roadways. Like this road right here. How fast do you think this road is? It's a 35. So if I run in the middle of the road, it shouldn't be a problem, right? A lot of people will give you shit. Oh, you should be over on the edge where all the trash is. And I'm not talking dirt, I'm saying edge of the road. It's ridiculous. It's the way a lot of people can be. Is there a difference? Of course there is. But I think the word roadie is kind of a derogatory term, or at least I would take it as a derogatory term if someone called me a roadie. Roadies are generally more people that are in it for the sport. Not Lance Armstrong wannabes, but more of people that are trying to better their times, get faster, compete maybe in races. Which I met one guy who, he cycle commuted every day to work from Portland, but he was a race guy, but I don't know that I would call him a roadie. And would I consider myself one? Probably not. So when we say sport generally means competition. I will go out for rides on the weekend But there's two reasons I do it, and one of the big ones is for training my body, trying to get better, trying to get healthier. And the second one is just for enjoyment. You know, especially on days like yesterday where I know that I'm gonna stay home and do housework, do chores. I'll go out and I'll do like a 2-hour ride in the morning. So I'm gone for 2 hours. You do like 20 miles, and then you go home and you're home the rest of the day. And so, I mean, in some people's mind, I'm out on the road and I'm road biking, I'm probably considered a roadie. But in other people's minds, they'd be like, no, he's not a roadie. Like roadies, real roadies would be like, no, you're not a roadie. I'm not out there trying to get KOMs. I'm not out there trying to, you know, get speed. I'm just out there exploring, having a good time. So cycle commuters, or people that are just out here for sport, I can't think of an actual name for it. I guess cyclists. I guess cyclist is a good name for it. That is, I think, more of the correct term for everyone. For roadies, for bike commuters, for people that, like me, that just like to go out and explore. I think that's a better term for it, is cyclist, because cyclist encompasses all of it. You know, you can cycle, you can be a cyclist and go to work. You can be a cyclist and go out and train. You can be a cyclist and just go out and go see neighborhoods, explore, see the state, breathe in some fresh air, you know, exercise. I think reducing everything down to categories and derogatory terms is harmful, because you're really muddying the water on what it means to just go out and have fun. Now, get a bike, go out and just bike.
Look at all the Goliaths. That's a lot of Goliaths.
So the GoPro mount is coming for my...
I worked at that house.
GoPro mount is coming for my phone, so that on this bike I'm gonna have the GoPro mounted right under my phone and maybe get some better audio quality. The audio quality is good on the road bike. Let's see what's down there. I don't think I've ever been down this road. The audio quality is good on my road bike. My bag on my post has been making a squeaking noise for the last couple videos. I did notice it. I have addressed it somewhat. It was driving me crazy while I was editing. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, I'm not just deleting video because of that. I'm not just gonna delete video because of that. So I put some tape on the back of it, and it seems like it's helped. Oh, there's another deer. I didn't even know this was back here. Alright, let's slow down. Come out of this and we'll slow it down. So yeah, I addressed that bag squeak, so the bag should no longer be a squeaking. It was driving me crazy while editing, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not throwing away all that footage just because of that. So addressed, and then hopefully having that there will help not hear that. And on this it'll help not have the wind noise on the helmet. I like the helmet mount. I get good shots. I think I'll keep a helmet mount on whatever helmet I get. That's the other thing too, is I'm looking at possibly buying a new helmet. I've been told that there are helmets that have better was it multi-impact protection, multiple impact protection, something like that. That there are better helmets. So I've been looking at the possibility of getting a helmet that would better protect me in an impact. And I ride everywhere, so I think it'd be a good idea. I ride on trails, I ride on mountain bike trails, I ride on the road, I ride on walking paths, I ride everywhere. So, not a bad idea. I've also read that that let's say you were, you know, if you're riding on the road and you fall, you're less likely to hit your head riding on the road than you are if you were on a mountain bike trail. And they're basically saying, you know, those people that don't wear helmets, they're not 100% wrong. I don't know if I agree with that. But, you know, it's just what I've been told. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, it's just what I've been told. I guess we can get into topic number 2 that I wanted to talk about mention real quick. I talked about it earlier in this video, but I'm probably not going to go back and edit it just so I can have it have it up front here. I'll just talk about it again. If that ruins the magic for you, I'm sorry, but that's kind of how this whole game is played. I kind of spur of the moment, I'll talk about something, and then I'll go, damn it, that should have been the main video. Regenerative braking. You know what, actually, I will play one clip. This is my e-bike from earlier. Got the beautiful rad powered bike today. I'm a huge fan of this bike. This is the Rad City 5 Plus step through. I believe it was right around $3 grand, but it was worth every penny. I debated for a while on going with the lower models, like just the regular 5, or go with maybe the 4 or the 3. They'll be cheaper, they're more road tested. But the thing I kept coming back to, the reason I didn't want that, is one was regenerative braking, which regenerative braking, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit on as a discussion today. And the regenerative braking was one thing. This bike does not have it. Hydraulic disc was another, and this bike is just a little higher end, I think, compared to a lot of the other ones. And range, this one had a way better range, and that is a credit to that new battery. So yeah, that's my e-bike. It's a Rad, I said it in that clip, but it's a Rad Step Through City 5 Plus, which just means it's got some new features to the old Rad 5 Step Through. There were reasons I bought it over other bikes. There were features that are on this, like hydraulic disc, that I liked. It's got nice lights. It's new. So that tells me right there. I mean, the Rad City has had 5 iterations at this point. So when you've had 5 iterations on a bike, that tells me that there's been quite a bit of changes and you know, redoings you've had to do to your bike. So I figure new. It's not always better. Like in a car, I don't think I'd ever buy the first model year of a new body, but not afraid to buy first model year of a bike, because it's a bike, and worst case scenario, you can change stuff. Ah, that's what that was. It's a church. Someone's pulling in some money. Let's not get off topic though. And one of the big things that Rad didn't put on this bike that was on the previous bike and on a couple of the previous, is regenerative braking. And you know, we always talk about regenerative braking in cars, and some people don't know what it is. Regenerative braking is, in simplest terms, regenerative braking is, instead of using my hand brakes, if I wasn't pedaling, the motor would turn from a motor that is outputting power to a motor that is using the coil and the magnet to generate power. So the motion of the bike would power this generator, and the generator would then suck that electricity out and put it back in the battery. From my understanding, it sounds like the probability is there that regenerative braking did not save that much power, and they took the feature out due to that fact. And it's another component on a bike that could break, and so I think simplifying is generally better than continuing to make a product that has a failure point or has a feature that is annoying or useless. Regenerative braking, I think, on a car, because they're heavy, they're big, it makes sense. On bikes, I'm not sure if it does. I'm not a scientist. I've never played around with it. You would think it would make some sense, but apparently it doesn't. So that was why I chose this one over that one. I don't think there's an issue with having regenerative braking. I just think regenerative braking is it's a good what's the word? It's a good buzzword that people see and they go, ooh, better for the planet. Ooh. Let's go this way. Get off the road. So this bike doesn't have it. This bike just has normal hydraulic disc brakes, and that's it. And that works for me. I like simple. As I've mentioned before, the battery is annoying. I don't love that thing on the battery, but yeah, it is what it is. I live with it. I just don't bring the bike in places where I think the battery could get easily yoinked and stolen. I've noticed this cup thing. I don't know if it's a new trend or kids have been doing it for years and I just never noticed. I've seen it at a couple high schools this year, where they'll take cups and they put them through the fence to make names and stuff. So this has been the boss. It's the one second. That ball was moving on its own. That's terrifying. How can you explain this? It must be a ghost. This has been Shua Cycles. Thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, please leave it a like. If you would like to see more of it, subscribe down below. I make vlogs, shorts, video essays, and I'm doing a bike project on a 2001 Univega. So if any of that stuff interests you, how about you subscribe and stick around, and we will see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.